there we go. All right. So it is December 18th. We are 7 days from Christmas, and I'm sure that everybody is feeling the same way that I am. I even messaged Stephanie right before this call, and I said, I'm just winging this call tonight, just like everything else in my life right now. And so if you're feeling that way, if you're feeling overwhelmed, or if you're feeling behind, or if you're just feeling, and I'll just be honest with y'all about where kind of I am. If you're feeling a little bit disconnected from Plexus right now and your business, and just feeling like you need to lean in a little bit more to family and to the things that are going on in front of you, that's okay. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. It's how we can do both well. How can we continue to be present for our business while giving the things that matter, our priorities, our number one attention? Because that is my hope for each and every one of us this season, is that we don't go into this with business at the forefront of our mind, but that we intentionalize our business over the next 7 days. So I'm going to keep this kind of short and sweet tonight. I just want to share a couple of things with y'all to help us do that, to help us continue to prioritize our business while also keeping the main thing during this holiday season. And that's really what I want, in addition to us having an intentional holiday, to us having a very present holiday with our family. What my wish for every single person on this call and on our team is for us to go into 2024. We've got 15 days, less than that, left in 2023, for us to all go into 2024 with a strategy. And I think, like so many of us, if you've been with us a couple of years, if you've been with us a couple of months, whatever it is, when we re-up our goals, I think it's really easy for us to say, in 2024, I want to go Emerald, or 2024 is my Senior Ruby year, or it's my Diamond year. And we have these goals, but do you actually have a strategy for getting there? Because if you just have a goal, or you just have a wish, you don't have a roadmap. You need to have a roadmap on how to get there. And we've talked about that a lot in the past couple of months, just about mapping yourself to certain goals. And tonight we're not talking so much about mapping, but we are talking about showing up on purpose, with a purpose and with a strategy. And so I want to talk about like what that strategy is going to look like for the next week, because it's going to look a lot different than it's going to look like after that. And then talk a little bit about what next week is going to look like, because on the 27th, I've got an event planned, a call for us that's going to be a power hour where we're really going to dig in and really strategize for 2024. But before we do that, I want to talk about the next 7 days. Like, how are we going to, or the next 9 days, how are we going to show up intentionally for our business? And that does not have to look like a full day's work. If you're somebody, and I'll speak to myself, like I am used to spending 4 to 5 hours on work every day, whether that's on Instagram, social media, Plexus, like all of that. And y'all know I have my hand in a couple of other things. So that doesn't mean I'm working 4 hours a day Plexus, but that's kind of my work week. My work week this week is going to be an intentional 2 hours of work every day. That is a bandwidth that I have. So I want y'all to first like pre-decide for the next 7-8 days, what does my work block look like? Like, how much time do I have to give this, and how much time can I carve out? But I want you to actually intentionally set that time. You're not allowed to say nothing. You're not allowed to say, I don't have any time to give in the next 7 days, and I'm just going to pick it up on the 27th. Maybe it's 30 minutes, maybe it's an hour, maybe it's 2 hours, but I want you to carve out that intentional time. And here are the things that I'm going to encourage you to prioritize during that 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour block that you've got going. Number one is continuing to care for your existing customers well. If you have a customer chat, or if you're just in personal conversation with them, I want you to make sure you're continuing to care for your existing customers. We had over 200 people join our team in November. We want to make sure that we are stewarding those people well, and we are helping them get started strong on their journey. So make sure you're continuing to care for your customers. That's the first thing you do every day when you touch your business, is care for your existing people. You don't get to add new people until you're caring for the ones that you have existing well. The next thing I want to challenge you to do, and I'll send this list because I meant to make a slideshow, but here we are, didn't have time. The next thing I want to encourage you to do is continue to show up on social media. And I want you to make a plan for the holidays. And I'm going to touch on this in just a minute. I want you to make a plan to show up for the next 7 days, but I also want you to make a plan to get off of social media for the next 7 days. So today I sat down and I mapped out my week for social media, and I'm intentionally getting out of stories the 22nd through the 26th. And I'm looking up at my calendar right now. So the 22nd, that morning, I'm going to post a story, and then I'm out of stories for 4 days, 5 days, whatever that is. I have a couple of intentional posts planned out, like on Christmas Eve, I'm going to post a picture of my family. I'm going to get on, I'm going to post it, and I'm going to get out of there. I have a reel that I'm posting on the 23rd that I've already planned about being intentional during the Christmas season. And then I have a reel that I'm posting on the 26th, but that's it. Like I've planned out my social media so that I don't have to get on there and spend a lot of time on there, but I can still be present. So continue to show up on social media, but I want you to also like set a plan to get off of social media, because that's honestly going to allow you to show up more intentionally outside of that off block. If you know that you've set aside, I've got 4 days off, that means that I need to get my work done before I take that 4 days off. So give yourself permission to take that time off. And that's going to give you a deadline to get the rest of your work done and to show up well before them. It's kind of like that's your reward for working well and being a good steward this week. The third thing I would encourage y'all to do is be strategic about our New Year's groups that are coming up. There's a post going in my team page tomorrow. Noelle is going to, I'm sure, share the same thing in her team page. Starting January 1st, we are doing reset groups every Monday in January. And we're planning to run those the way we've been running them, just in Instagram Messenger and Facebook Messenger. But we're planning to run those every single Monday in the new year. So be strategic about that. I'll be sharing some things in my team chat, just with some graphics and some pointers for doing that. But I would start sharing in stories now about just planting seeds for people and taking those stories that you've got and sharing them to existing customers. You can actually take your stories that you share and send them individually to people. I would send that to Shannon if she's an existing customer of mine and say, hey, Shannon, just giving you a heads up, we're running some reset groups in January. I would love to do this with you. It's just an extra layer of touch for your existing customers, and also just putting it in there daily as a reminder for your potentials and people that you've already had conversations with. So I would start sharing that tomorrow and start tagging people in that Facebook post that's going to be in our team page. The next thing I'm going to encourage y'all, got my notes over here, y'all, is be strategic in not just bringing on new customers and not just bringing people in one at a time, but bringing people in 2 at a time and 3 at a time. So as you're thinking about bringing on new customers to reset, as you're talking to those existing customers that are going to do reset with us in January, nobody does reset alone. It's like no woman left behind. Everybody's going to do reset with a buddy. That's the intention. So just using that verbiage of so excited to do reset with you. Who's going to be your buddy? Who is going to do this with you? Who's going to do this with you? And just kind of setting that expectation up front that everybody's grabbing a buddy, whether it's their husband, whether it's their sister, whether it's their coworker, everybody's doing this together, and just really going in with that mentality. Because when you start bringing people in 2s and 3s, that's when this gets really fun. And that's when it gets really fun for them, because they're going to get to celebrate their success with other people. Noelle, the monkey, is killing me. It's tripping me out.
You would not survive. I can barely handle it.
I love it.
My old monkey was not this crazy.
He's hilarious. I love it. Okay, the next thing I want to encourage y'all to do, and especially after Christmas, y'all, is share the opportunity. As you're sharing these reset groups, share the opportunity that comes along with that. So this month, when people, and this actually, I just posted this in the team page, y'all, and so this is a great follow-up for this week. Balance is going to start shipping out on the 20th. So today's the 18th. So tomorrow is the last day. Actually, the 20th is the last day to get that free sleep when you order Balance. So that's a really great time to kind of start talking to people about, or not start talking to them, but to kind of follow up with people who you know are interested in doing the reset with us. When they order Triplex Balance and reset, they're going to also get a free sleep. But kind of piggybacking off of that, and what I was originally saying is sharing the opportunity with people after Christmas. Because I actually heard this on the radio this morning, that spending is up this year. People are spending almost $1,000. The average family is spending almost $1,000 on gifts this year. They have not seen those kind of numbers since the 90s. And everybody knows what kind of economy we're in. That's not that people have the money to spend. We don't have the money to spend. People are more in debt than ever. People are going into debt for Christmas, y'all. And they're spending more than they've ever spent before, which means people are looking for opportunities. So we cannot be afraid to share this opportunity with people. Double bonuses end at the end of December. So helping people get started after Christmas. And like I said, helping them bring 2 or 3 people along with them is going to be make a huge impact. $400 for somebody grabbing 3 friends. So not being afraid to share that opportunity in stories as you're talking about the reset too. And so those are really the things I want you to prioritize between now and Christmas. Between now and the 27th is caring for your existing customers well, continuing to show up purposefully on social media, being strategic about sharing the New Year groups. I would start sharing them in stories daily starting tomorrow, and I'll share some graphics with you guys so that you can share those too. But really the easiest way to share those and the most authentic way to share those is to share screenshots of testimonies. I'm going to upload those to boards tonight, but just from the reset group that we did last week, there were 7 people in there who lost over 5 pounds. Just sharing those little screenshots to your story while you're mixing up your pink drink in the morning is so powerful. And then on the next slide, just put a slider. Who wants to join us for our next round in January?
Hey, Chels, I just had a guy lose 11 pounds last week and a girl lose 12 pounds. The girl cried her eyes out.
Oh my gosh.
She wasn't able to lose weight for anything.
That's crazy. Shannon, what's that?
So I can share those.
Yeah. Just don't share their names. So when you share those,
Okay.
just make sure you
I was going to say,
black
will you show me some examples of how to do that?
Mhm. All I do when I do that is I just screenshot the group and then I just go
Okay.
in and crop it. Like I crop the actual message so that their name is not in it.
Okay.
I don't ever
Okay.
share anybody's testimony unless I have permission. So, but it's fine to go in and share their wording as long as you're not sharing who it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So getting intentional about sharing about the reset group starting in January. And here's why we want to do that now and not starting after January is because by the time people are starting to think about their New Year's resolutions on the 27th, 28th, and 29th, you want to be the person that comes to mind when they think about that. You don't want them to start seeing your reset stuff on the 27th, 28th, because you know what they're thinking about? They're thinking about that Beachbody girl. They're thinking about that faster way to weight loss girl that has been posting and showing up in her stories for 3 months. So we want to be the person that comes to mind. So laying that groundwork is going to be super important. And I know that because there's a faster way girl who is she is in my feed every single day. And I message her every day. I'm like, you are killing it. You are crushing it. You're going to have a huge first of the year because she's showing up. Do you have one in
Beachbody one in my feed? She's slaying it. She's doing it. 28 days of Christmas. Every day posting her workout. I'm like, Taryn, dang it. Okay.
She looks good and I know she's inspiring you. I know. So that's where I want us to focus between now and then. Be intentional, set your work hours, do the work so that you earn your rest. Not that we have to earn our rest. This is a different kind of rest. This is not the kind of daily rest that we need to earn. This is the kind of, I have shown up for my business. I have done what I needed to do. I have done a good work. And now I'm going to intentionally set it down because I've done what I needed to do. So get to the end of this week and just be able to say that. Whatever your cup looks like, whatever your capacity is, set that time apart and do what you can this week. And then after Christmas, I want y'all to come ready and go ahead and write this on your calendars. We're going to do a big team-wide power hour, December 27th at 1:00. Most people should be home. We're not doing it at night. We're going to do it in the middle of the day. Do your best to get there. I know people's work schedules and all of that, but we're doing it on the 27th at 1:00. And I want you to block off 2 hours for this power hour. There's my balloons again. Do y'all see it? They went away again. Set aside 2 hours for this power hour. We are going to be doing reach outs for our reset group. We're going to be planning intentional posts and being strategic for January. And we're going to be messaging and we're going to be talking about the opportunity. So I want y'all to come ready, the 27th, 1:00, ready to work. Okay. Until then, we're going to stick to our non-negotiables. We're going to take intentional time off. We're going to have some days where I hope and pray that you don't even touch your phone. I hope you put it on top of your refrigerator for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the day after Christmas, and don't even touch it. That's my plan, is to not even touch my phone. And then come back on the 26th ready to freaking go. Because that's what we're going to do. We're going to go into 2024 with a plan, with a strategy to hit our goals this month or this year. Steph, do you want to add anything to that? Noelle, you want to add anything?
Yeah, first of all, I want to congratulate all you guys seriously and give you high fives, all the hugs for getting on a call Monday night before Christmas, because this just typically happens. You know, through the year as it gets closer to the holidays, people kind of fall off and dwindle, and it's such a busy time and people have a lot going on. But this is really big. This is huge for you guys to show up here tonight. So, there was a diamond call a couple days ago, and I was just gonna kind of share a couple of things that they expressed, or they shared on the call, and Chelsea shared part of it about the balance. I don't know how many of you guys order balance, but that's coming back available on the 20th, which was a big deal for a lot of people on our team. We are, from what they shared with us, and they didn't tell us anything specific, but we are going to have a very different, a very new virtual back office experience after Christmas. So going into the new year, and this has been a goal of Plexus for a while, is just to get everything in alignment with our shopping experience with new people who join us. It shouldn't be confusing at all. When people sign on and they want to order a welcome pack, or what we're moving the verbiage into systems now, like a gut health system, because people don't know what welcome packs are. Gut health system, we have a skincare system, whatever. So they are transitioning and like modernizing a bunch of things going into effect right after the new year, which I'm really excited about. Lots of cool new product innovation. They haven't shared specifically what that is, but they did say that. Brand ambassador and new customer experience coming. New tools. There's going to be, in reference to sharing like our compensation plan, they're making new videos for that. A lot of people have asked for videos. If I want to send a video about our business opportunity, where can I find that? They're creating that. They may have already created it, but a new video on our compensation plan, on our opportunity. There's a couple new videos that they're doing that they're going to launch after the first of the year. So I think it was last week on our last team call, I said, if you guys aren't registered for Super Saturday, which is January 13th, make sure you're registered for that. And I just want to reiterate this, because sometimes I have no idea what they're going to roll out, but sometimes they offer like a new product or or just a sale, a promo code, and you will get it if you are registered. So if you're, and it goes by your registration. So I just don't want anybody to miss out if you don't register for it and they roll out something really cool. You don't want to miss out on it because you're not registered. So get in the back office, register for that. If you guys don't know the link to register, we can send it to you. If you are local to myself, I'm in Florida, Chelsea's in Atlanta, right outside Atlanta, Noelle's right outside Detroit. Get with the person that's closest above you. Maybe they're doing something, or maybe you can get with them, or maybe you watched on your own. The last couple of years, I haven't been able to have so much of a team locally here where I'm at in Florida to do a big team event. So I watched it on my own, but I still registered for it. So I just want to reiterate the importance of that, because you don't want to miss out on something cool for not registering. I think it's $20. I don't remember the cost to do it. It's not a lot. So register, make sure that's on your list and register for it. And if you've signed up people who are the least bit interested in the business, send them the link to register, or watch it with them if you can. I just want to say that, like, get with them and just, so, but Chelsea covered so much, and the only thing that I want to share, and I want to open up to Noelle, to whatever you'd like to share, Noelle, or anybody else on this call, is just, you guys just be consistent. because this is the time of year where people just typically check out. And it's not that you cannot take time off. Chelsea, I love that you said that. You're like, from this date to this date, I'm not going to be showing up every day in my stories. I'm not going to, that's what this is about. This should not be a business where you are cemented to your phone or it won't work, right? Like, we don't want that for you. But it's like anything else. It's like, and I've always compared it to this over the years, and my brain always goes back to this, but it's like trying to lose weight, right? You aren't gonna, if you don't go to the gym for the week, cool, but get back to it when you're done with that week, right? We all go on vacation, or we have times where we're like not so engaged. That's totally okay. But consistency at the end of the day is everything, because like you said, Chelsea and Shannon, you acknowledged it. I guess you guys both follow the same girl. I don't know who this girl is or what this business is, but she's showing up. And that's where we're at today, you guys. It's not a matter of having like some magical thing to offer people. To me, it's the people who are consistent, because we are so numbed at being sold to, because every single person is, like everything, we just, there's so many ads and so many things going on our social media. The people who continuously show up, like where I would say probably 10 years ago, 3-4 times of seeing something, I would have pressed, like, yes, I'm going to order this. Nowadays, it takes a little longer. But those people that continuously show up, I'm like, you know what? At this point, I don't even know if I need this in my life, but I want to support her because I see her face all the time. Like, I feel like that's the consumer psyche today. Like, that's where people's minds go to, is just the consistency. And I truly feel like that builds that know, like, and trust factor. Yeah. And Chelsea just said trust. So don't feel like you've got to sell your soul to being on social media 24/7, but consistency builds credibility, and that speaks a lot. So I just wanted to say that through the holiday season, even when people aren't reaching out to you, even when they're not liking your posts, even when they're not signing you, know that they're watching you. I just want to say that you're planting seeds. You're planting seeds, because one of our busiest seasons is not even so much in January, but like February, March, April, like moving into the spring is crazy busy for us. So I just wanted to really say that tonight, and I'm going to shut up. So Noelle, please jump in here.
My brain's been a little off with this strep throat, but one of the things that really came to mind was the identity of who you think you are. So, we all compare things to weight loss journeys. Like when I lost a bunch of weight, I had to think of myself as a fitness person. I couldn't identify myself anymore as the like overweight partier that like to smoke cigarettes and eat and drink alcohol. But I feel like if we do that in this business as well, like instead of looking at it as a hobby, like what would a 5-star diamond do? And if we just start thinking about that all the time, so maybe you take a few days off for Christmas, but you also know that a 5-star diamond is proud and passionate and excited about what they do and constantly sharing that with everybody that she meets. So I just wanted to say that, because I feel like that's the biggest thing, is if you guys just start changing your identity of who you are. You guys, I mean, I know Chelsea and Stephanie for sure will say this, like Plex has changed my life in such a big way that Stephanie is in my prayers every single day. And you guys have heard me say this before, but like I had to shift over the years who I thought I was. I didn't think I was a leader when I started out. I had to I every day had an affirmation saying I'm an inspiring, confident leader. And I had to say that for a good year before I felt it. So start coming up with affirmations around who you are, the type of people you want to attract. It's another thing Stephanie can tell you guys. I've attracted many different teams in the last 9 years. I love my team now. Now, I used to have a toxic team. Like, you want to really think intentionally for this new year. What kind of leader do you want to be, but what kind of people do you want to attract? Start getting really specific. Thank God in advance for these people that God is sending you. Thank God for these people that don't just need it, but they want it, but they're willing to pay it forward and stand up passionately take a stand to help others whatever it is you're looking for, start creating it. I look at the girls on my team right now, and like Maggie's on here. When I was really in my state of like gratitude, I really wanted somebody that would fill our team with love and support and gratitude. Along came Maggie. When I started praying for fun, Susan and Susan came along. Like whatever you're praying for, that's what you're going to get if you expect, thank God in advance. So start thinking about what kinds of people you want, because you are who you surround yourself with. So don't just take anybody. Be ready and intentional about it. All right, that's all I
Oh,
had to say.
man. That is so good. That's so good. And that reminds me, sometimes you see things and it just sticks out. Like there are several things on my bulletin board and like in my drawer here that I look at regularly, just like sayings that have really impacted me. And that's one that I heard, and I just typed it in the chat, is that stop waiting to get invited to the table that God asked you to build. And that right there, like that has been so true in so many different areas of my life. And I look at even this call and I look at like how obedient Stephanie was to build the table. Like I have been obedient to build the table. Like who is it that God is asking you to impact that you don't even know what. And I was thinking about this today. And even when you were talking today, Noelle, like you don't know what hangs in the balances of your boldness and of your just being willing to share and do this. And I've shared this recently on a team call. God is allowing me to do things with my platform now, apart from Plexus, that 3 years ago, I literally never would have dreamed that he would be building. I'm getting messages from women, not even about Plexus anymore, but just from like a homemaking standpoint, which is something that I'm really, really passionate about. This Plexus has allowed me to have a separate platform and a separate kind of influence on people that I never dreamed possible. And it's all because of this opportunity. It started with Plexus. And I want to say that and close this out because it's 9:00. But Stephanie said just a minute ago, like people are watching you no matter if you think they are or not. And this is case in point. This faster way to fat loss girl that I'm following, I don't think I've liked a single one of her reels, but you best believe I'm stalking her reels because she's so good. She's so informative. And I haven't interacted with her at all. Not because I'm not supporting her. She's a friend of mine, but I'm just scrolling through my feed and I see her stuff and I keep going. She's impacting me, but she wouldn't know it because I haven't interacted. I haven't sent her a story. I haven't even liked her stuff. So just know, number one, that there are eyes on your things. You are impacting more people than you know. And the people who are the most vocal, usually against you, are not the people that you're there for. They're not the people that you're there for. And this was another good example of this. I made a post the other day, got some serious hate on it, which was really funny because it was not a controversial topic. But anyway, case in point, I shared something in my stories about, kind of something funny about people being hateful towards the post. And within an hour, that post was flooded with people who were kind of coming to my defense over this thing. And the people, like, they didn't originally comment on the post. They didn't originally say anything nice about it. But once they realized that, oh, there's a call to action, or, oh, somebody's being ugly, like people were willing to go and engage. And I realized that because it doesn't matter like how many followers you have, like when people are mean to you on the internet, it still hurts. It just does. Like, you know that it means more about them than it does about you, but it still sucks when people are mean to you and in your DMs, telling you you're causing global warming. It still stinks. But when people started getting in my inbox, kind of coming to my defense, I realized like, I am not on here to please the haters. Like I am on here to impact the silent women who are silently watching me and being inspired by your posts. So I want to encourage y'all with that there are people who are silently watching you, who you are encouraging, that you may never know that you're encouraging. You may know in 3 years that you're encouraging. They may join you in 2 years down the road because maybe the timing is not right for them now. But you're showing up and you being consistent and showing them that this is possible means everything. And reminding yourself you are showing up for the one. You are always one conversation away from a completely different business. You are one conversation away from impacting someone else's life. So keep showing up, keep being consistent, because those are the seasons where you're planting the seeds. You're planting the seeds.
That's right. I don't know if you guys are like me, where I was around a bunch of friends and family for Thanksgiving, different parties and different family stuff that I hadn't seen in a while. And there were two people, not family members, who said to me that I hadn't seen for years, who were like, "You were so inspirational on social media. I follow you." And oh, and they were just so passionate and just so like they cornered me. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, you haven't liked a post." I didn't say this, but in my mind, I'm like, "You haven't liked a post of mine and I don't know how long." I had no idea these people followed me. So I want to just piggyback on what Chelsea just said. People are watching. They are watching you and they're following you guys. So I remember being so disheartened when I started Plexus and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to start this social media, social selling business and put myself out there." And I'd make a post and get like 2 likes, but there's 22 others that saw it, liked it, like in their minds at least, that are, just not commenting. So I want to just reiterate that. Don't get into the metrics of who's liking my post, who's commenting, who's reaching out, because I've had seasons of that too, where 1, 2, 3 months I didn't sign anybody, and then the 4th month everybody is, like, I can't handle how many people are reaching out to me. So it, for me, it's happened like that too. It comes in waves. So I just want to say, just be consistent. Be
Mhm.
consistent, keep sharing what you love, and especially now,
Mhm.
especially today. So
That's right. I feel like, and we could talk about this more on our next social media call, but I know, like, even in the same breath of saying that people are watching, like, I know that that also brings with it its own fear of like, okay, but people are watching. Okay. I'm looking at you, Shannon.
Shannon,
But
Ah,
here's what we have to do. Like, and this is kind of where I found myself when I was transitioning over from Facebook to Instagram, because that was my biggest jump. That was my biggest fear. Like, I can post on Facebook all day, but jumping over to Instagram was scary for me. And I don't know why, but it was scary for me. And you would think it'd be the other way around. But here's what we do is we decide, okay, I'm going to post, but I'm only going to post a little bit because maybe this person won't see it and maybe this person will. And that's just not the way it works. It's just because I know that you're thinking that because that's what I did. And it's like, maybe if I just show up a little bit, that will be enough. And there just has to be a moment where you just break through and you're like, am I going to do this or not? Like, am I going to do this or not? When I first show up, like, it's probably going to be maybe a little cringy. Maybe it's not going to be as polished as I want it to be. Maybe it's not going to feel as natural as I want it to be, but you are not going to make an impact and you are not going to build a real business with one toe in and one toe out, hoping that this person sees it and this person doesn't. You either got to go all in or what's it for,
yeah.
So,
and I feel like we could do a whole training call on this.
yes.
Yep.
Right. I feel like we could, because Shannon, like when you're talking, like I've been in Plexus for a decade, and I can't tell you how many times before I go to bed, I'm like, post, throw my phone down. I'm like, I'm not looking till the morning. Like, I make my post it. I'm like, I'm doing it. And so I just want to tell you, I want to validate your feelings because we're human beings. So yes, we feel this. And again, we can do a whole training on this because I have to train myself with this. I mean, with the thought of caring what people think, or just putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, like you're talking about, tearing ourselves open to the core with putting ourselves out there. And it's very scary and super vulnerable. But I will say this, one thing I remind myself of is it's normal to feel this way. So don't beat yourself up. Toddlers and sociopaths don't care about what other people think, but
Sure.
we do. We do, because we're human. But this is something I ask myself. I'm like, the people that I truly, truly care what they think, are they doing better than me? Do they have my best interest at heart? Like, truly, they care about Stephanie's success. You know what I mean? Like that group of people that are like, Shannon, I want to see you like hit double diamond, sister. I think deep down we know who those people are, and the other people, we may kind of sort of care what they think, but at the same time, the truth of it is they care way more about themselves than they do us. And there's also a percentage of people that they're not even thinking about us, Shannon, but we're in our heads, they are. So yeah, we could definitely talk more about this. I just want to say this to you because I've been doing this for years and I still struggle with the same thing. So, but I just don't want it to hold you back because of that, because it's so easy. It's so easy to do that.
Well, the two things I felt during this call is like, number one, I'm spending so much time on social media, but it's not the posting, it's trying to learn like, what in the heck does a hook mean? What is like, it's all these things of getting like that, getting ready to get ready, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
That finally today I had a post and I was like, it does just do it. But then it was kind of what you said. I had my work party on, was it Saturday night? And my lender that I like rent in an office space, she's never liked to post. She doesn't follow me. She would be, it's not someone that I like deeply care about their opinion, but I know exactly what she would say if she saw it. Was like, hey, look at you, Plexus. And I was like, she's never liked anything. She's like, you're killing it. She's like, I took Plexus a couple of years ago. She's like, man, that stuff made me feel so good. But she was so nice about it. But I was like, okay, maybe it was, you're wrong about what she would say. You know, she's already taken the product and loved it. But I got a lot of comments at my Christmas party, but I was like, yeah.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good
That's
for
all
you.
I said was, yeah.
It's yeah. And you know
I
what?
didn't
It's so
have anything. I had nothing to follow up. I just said, yeah.
yeah. It's so easy for us to create stories in our head of what other I left law enforcement and I had people that openly supported me and others that quietly supported me and like across the board some people are like what is this so yeah we create stories, we certainly do,
100%.
certainly do.
Well, thank you. I needed that. That was good.
Yeah.
Less time. I like that. More intentional on social media. I like that block of being consistent, but not necessarily scrolling outside of trying to figure out the trending audio.
That's
After
right.
that, that's the only thing that's still a little bit hard for me. But after that, it's just a little time. But it'll get easier when
It
you
gets so
do
much
it.
easier. It gets
It'll
so
be
much
easy.
easier. And yes, create more than consume. Like create more than consume.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Oh, I need that on the board. I need the table quote, and I'm gonna screenshot that really quick.
Yep. I'll put the
Right.
table quote. I'll put the table quote in our chat. That one, yeah.
Eat more than consume. I need that.
Yep. And I think about that so often because I still go through that. I still go through periods where I'm like, doubting myself or being fearful about reaching out about the opportunity or even posting about Plexus. I mean, we all, like we said, we all care what people think. We just, it's just how much am I going to allow it to dictate my actions? Am I going to allow it to dictate my future? Or am I going to keep moving forward?
Yeah.
I forgot where I was going with that. I was going somewhere with that.
Yeah. No, we just need to have discernment over who's going to stop us from hitting post,
That's and that's what I was saying. Sometimes I'll have those moments and then I'll go and I'll literally open up my team chat and I will say, and I'll tell myself, I knew none of these women before Plexus. And that's really powerful to me. Like I would not know any of you. I wouldn't know Stephanie. I would never have met Shannon. I would never have met Noelle. I mean, none, like with the exception of 3 or 4 of my level ones who are working this business that I knew from my hometown, my whole circle is different, and just how powerful that is and just what hangs in the balances. So, let's do it, y'all. Let's be intentional these next couple of days, give ourselves grace over Christmas and come back on the 27th, ready to do this thing. 1 o'clock on the 27th, y'all. It's going to be good.
I'll be there. Can't wait.
Yes.
Yeah. If I don't see y'all, have a very Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Y'all too. Love you guys. Merry
Okay.
Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Feel better, Noel.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Thank
Christmas,
you.
Stephanie.
Love you guys.
Love you
too.
guys.